Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson, Director of Multicultural Affairs for the City of Huntsville, and today we're launching a brand new program called Getting to Know Your Local Police. My very first guest is Sergeant Dan Dean with the South Precinct, and we're thankful that he's taken some time out from what has to be a very busy schedule to come and talk with us today. Welcome, Sergeant Dean.
Thank you, sir.
It's great to have you here. You know, one of the things we wanted to do is to really begin to humanize the role of a police officer even more. Because oftentimes I think we see police officers in their uniforms and we kind of think that's all they are. We don't see the humanness in them. We don't see the behind the scenes story about who they are. We don't think about them having a family, hobbies, and other kinds of interests. And we want to really spend some time over the course of getting to know many of your other officers to help people understand more about who you are as a person. So just thank you for being here today.
Yes, sir.
I guess one of the most obvious questions is I want you to first tell us about how long you've been with Huntsville Police Department and what's your current title and some of your responsibilities.
Okay. It'll be 18 years next month. I've been a supervisor for almost 10 years now. I'm currently assigned to South Precinct on second shift, and I've been down there going on 6 years.
And what's a typical day like for you?
Come in, get things prepared, go through emails, make worksheets. Then we'll have roll calls with all the officers working that day. Get them out in the field, tell them what's important, give them the things we're on the lookout for, assign them to their zones that they're going to work that day, and get them out in the field. Then, of course, have to monitor the radio, whatever's going on at the time. If it's something I need to be involved with, any type of large situation going on, I'll respond out to that. Help the officers in the field deal with that. And it changes from day to day.
Sure, it kind of keeps your hands full too, I'm sure.
At times it does.
Yeah. You know, I had the pleasure of riding out of South Precinct several months ago with Officer Eric Newby.
Yes, sir.
And I went to my very first roll call. I've seen roll call for years on TV, and it just demystified the whole process for me, just to be able to be in that experience and actually see what really happens in that experience, and actually see people like myself who wear the badge, who wear a uniform, who are really standing between me and the unwanted elements in my community, preparing themselves for this job. I've really learned a lot and began appreciating even more the role of police officers when I saw that experience happening. And I'm sure that one of the things that you get to do as a sergeant is to observe your officers doing whatever it is that they do and do so well.
Right.
How do you feel when you see that happening?
It makes you proud when they do it right, do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of young officers on second shift, so you see a lot of growth in them as they've been there a little longer.
Yeah. What attracted you to become a police officer?
Something I always wanted to do. I grew up wanting to do it.
Did you have police officers in your family or role models?
Distant family. I had a great uncle that was a police officer, and then a cousin.
Yeah.
That both worked at HPD.
So it's just kind of something you knew you wanted to do.
Right.
And just fell right in it. Are you from Huntsville?
I'm from Gurley, just outside of Huntsville. So.
Okay.
But I've spent a whole lot of time in Huntsville.
All right. This is a little bit off script, but if you weren't a police officer, what might you be?
Ooh, I've been doing this so long, I have no clue now.
No.
I'm sure at one time I had other ideas, but
Right.
It's been a long time. So.
You kind of locked in on this, and
Yes, sir.
This is going to be your career. Well, I'm sure our city is better for that because of your obvious dedication and commitment to the cause. You've seen a lot of growth in this department.
Oh, yes, sir.
A lot of changes have taken place, and you've
Absolutely.
been a part of a lot of that.
Yes, sir.
Has it been good for the city?
It has. It has. When I started up here, we didn't have precincts. We all met by the old airport. We didn't have computers in our cars, nothing like that. So it's changed a lot more technology. We got a lot better facilities,
Yeah.
a lot of improvements.
What do you like most about the job if you had to pick one thing? And it may be many things, but just one thing.
You're not stuck in an office all day in one spot. You got a lot of freedom. You move around the city. You know, there's times you got to be certain places, but there's a lot of freedom involved with the job.
Yeah. And you have a family?
Yes, sir. I do.
Yeah. And of course, that has to be a very gratifying thing for you to be able to serve this city in that capacity and then be able to experience the love of a family.
Right.
It's got to be very, very rewarding for you also. You know, when you think about the opportunity to serve this community, what kind of goes through your mind?
Like I said, I grew up around Huntsville. I spent a whole lot of time here, and you know, it's home to me. Mm-hmm. And you know, I just want to do my job best I can and serve the community and try to help make it better.
Yeah, you moved from Gurley, which is a very small city, to
Right.
a much larger city, which is Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
And Huntsville, of course, continues to grow. I'm sure that some of the challenges of living in a big city continue to grow as well.
Yes, it's definitely still growing. I do still live in Gurley.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in that area, but
yeah,
we've definitely shown a lot of growth in Huntsville.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be good to be in a situation where, like you said, the precincts are there now. Mm-hmm. That gives you a presence in the community.
Right.
Is there some significance for that to you in terms of being physically based in a community? Does it give you a greater chance to feel like a part of that community?
It gives the people in that area, you know, they know where we're at. They don't have to go to downtown or to the old airport, wherever we used to be. They can come to a spot that's a lot closer to their area, and they get to know, got opportunity to get to know the officers that are working that area better.
Yeah. There are lots of things that people think when they think about the work of a police officer. And it may be something that you would like to say that doesn't necessarily come to people's minds. You know, I talked with a group of fire chiefs earlier, mm-hmm. and an EMA person, and they were just talking about some of the backstory of their work. One of the obvious things about a fire officer is that you think they fight fires all the time. Mm-hmm. The majority of the time, they're not fighting fires. They're doing other kinds of things. They're performing rescues and other kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. Is there something about police work that the community may not know that you would say, you know, hey guys, let me share something with you about a part of the job that you're not familiar with?
We do a little bit of everything. Like I said, we work wrecks, we go on emergency calls. You'd be surprised at some of the calls we get. I've had to go catch a snake before at somebody's house. Yeah. It's something new every day.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that has to be, I think, one of the coolest things to have a job that you enjoy and then have different opportunities to do different kinds of things.
You're never gonna know it all at this job.
Yeah. Well, Sergeant Dean, thank you very much for what you do, and thank you for being here with us today and just letting us know a little bit more about who you are. Thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you, sir.